Good morning. Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on my quest for England, exploring England and Englishness. And today I've cycled from my house in Worthing to Ferring, which is about 3 miles, something like that. And I'm starting here at St Andrew's Church, which at the moment as I film is locked down. It is actually a Sunday morning and it's locked because of the COVID-19 outbreak and the crisis that we're currently in. Here is my bicycle locked up by the lich gate, which if I just come back here you'll see is very beautiful. It's a very lovely setting here. Ferring itself is an ancient village, originally very small, and is dated in the Domesday Book. We can't go in the actual church, unfortunately. It's interesting to see the pebble dashing on the side, which is a bit unusual. Somewhere in the graveyard, and I don't know where, is a veteran from the Second World War, and in particular the Great Escape. And I believe his name is Major John Bigelow Dodge, and he is one of those that escaped. We all know the film, of course, but the individual characters possibly not quite so well known. I don't know where he is. This is a very beautiful graveyard, I have to say, and you can imagine it's nice to come here when you want to escape, although the whole village is very beautiful, and there's some very old houses. That's what we're going to have a look at in today's video. So I'm going to go past all the memorials for the cremations and back through the lich gate here, and already you can see these old houses which are made from flint, or at least decorated in flint. And this one here, particularly beautiful, has a thatched roof, and there are a few like this. The Ramblers it's called. There's another one here with wisteria on its frontage. How about that? 1759 it says on the plaque above the door, and in the distance there the Union flag on its flagpole. So St Andrew's Church behind me, and a rather fabulous old barn in Church Lane just up ahead here, which gives you an indication, I think, to the background of the village, farming community. Great big doors on that barn. So you can imagine a lot of probably threshing went on there, because the doors go right through. So I'm guessing that the harvest would come in, and then the wheat and chaff be separated with the wind flowing through to separate it. And then here, great big Victorian pile. Just here, look at that big rambling house. What a magnificent place that is. I imagine it's a care home now. And here, just above me, a public footpath sign. I think I'm going to have to look this place up on a map and go down for a walk that way. But I want to carry on eastwards and have a look at some of the other properties. Clearly this is the oldest part of the village, the nucleus as it were. These amazing houses here. Again, another one with a slate roof. And I love this little feature here, look. There's an indentation, there's a pipe here. I imagine that must be water or gas. But there's this little alcove which is quite peculiar. Opposite me, some very beautiful houses. Look at that with the blossom. It's just stunning. Very expensive area to live, I imagine. Wonderful, wonderful houses. This is how people should live. If only we could keep this. Isn't this just so charming? You can imagine that here, because Ferring is down on the coast, it's along from Goring, along from Worthing. You've got Rustington and East Preston on the opposite side. So you've got this wonderful area here that's just absolutely beautiful. Once you get up this way, you start becoming into the more modern houses, which I'm afraid to say really don't interest me. And the further you go out, you find that there's bungalows, just rows and rows of identical bungalows, which I'm sure are very nice and quite spacious, probably more spacious than some of these houses with this has got slate on its roof. And so is the others at the back there. But I find the identikit type houses incredibly monotonous, unimaginative and dull, and unfortunately they are ubiquitous. Here, yew tree cottage, great big yew tree here, which is very nice. Love a yew tree, which actually, if you look here, the branches have been formed into a hedge, which is nice. And then this sort of secretive little cottage beyond, which I love. If we carry on up here, we now find more of the modern houses, and you're aware that you're walking through different time periods, which is fascinating. You come up to the little shops that there are, the odd barn here or house conversion, which is what that appears to be. Another Victorian pile behind me. Obviously incredibly rich area that was at one time just a little humble farming place. We've got the library. It's even got its library, and it says on there the Sussex Police Community Area. Don't know whether the police are actually based there. Now we get into what can only be 1930s, 20s, 30s parade of shops, and then we come into the more up-to-date area, going through time all the while as you come out away from the church, which of course is ever thus. Some beautiful tulips here though, look at these. They do look very nice, don't they? I'm just crossing the road here because it says the old schoolhouse is here. I wonder what date that dates from. And coming over into what is now a playing field and with an adventure playground for the kids in it. Magnificent oak tree here in full bloom, and I'm going to cross over this, over that, to climb on, because I want to see here the village sign, you know, proper village sign. And it's got its own, well, it's got its own flag or its own shield with a fox above it. And the church, which is lovely. Let's just have a quick stroll up here and have a look at some of the trees. So we've got here beautiful oak, and look how green that is. It's coming into, it's really coming into its own now. And then over here, oh, this is an interesting tree. I'm trying to identify this. Big leaves. I wonder what that is. I feel I should know it. There's a couple of them here. Unfortunately, in the distance, there is a great big electric pylon going across. And above my head here, you can see that massive zip wire. I've just seen a sign, another sign which might give us a bit of a clue. I'm hoping it tells us what the trees are. It just says welcome to Ferring Village Green. Now this one is sweet. This one's a horse chestnut. Well, the other's horse chestnut. No, they are. Extraordinary that I didn't recognise those. First thing in the morning, the old brain's not working as it should. This is another oak. How peculiar. It is going upright like a Lombardy poplar. Now, here we go. There's a sign here. Trafalgar tree, Quercus robar fastigiata costa, planted to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the Battle of Trafalgar, which was fought on the 21st of October 1805. So that was planted in 2005, and it just goes to show you how big a tree can grow in 15 years. And up there is the rest of the village. Well, I'm going back to retrieve my bicycle now. So thank you very much for watching. Just a quick walk around Ferring. Beautiful village, lovely property, wonderful trees, fantastic atmosphere and great architecture. So don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, and I'll go out and do another walk somewhere. In the meantime, look after yourself, become a patron, support what I do, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.